The Adventure of Little Red Riding Hood. Soft, cheerful music plays. The camera pans across a small village, showing rolling green fields, birds chirping, and a tiny red-roofed cottage where a little girl with a bright red hood lives. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a sweet girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She was loved by everyone, especially her grandmother, who had made her a beautiful red velvet hood. She loved it so much that she wore it every day. That's how she got her name, Little Red Riding Hood. Inside the cozy cottage, Little Red Riding Hood's mother is packing a small woven basket with cake and a bottle of juice. Mother. Little Red Riding Hood, your grandmother is feeling unwell. I've packed this basket with fresh cake and some juice. I need you to take it to her. Of course, Mama. I'll take it right away. Mother, serious tone. Now, listen carefully. Stay on the path, walk quietly, and do not talk to strangers. The forest is full of surprises, some good and some not so good. I promise, Mama. She picks up the basket and heads off, skipping happily down the path. The sun shines brightly, and birds sing. Curious encounter. As she walks through the forest, she hums a happy tune. Suddenly, a rustling sound comes from behind a tree. Out steps a large, sly wolf with glistening eyes and a friendly smile. Wolf, sweetly. Good morning, dear child. Where are you going on this fine day? Little Red Riding Hood, cheerfully. I'm taking some cake and juice to my grandmother. She's not feeling well. Wolf, pretending to be concerned. Oh, how kind of you. And where does your dear grandmother live? Little Red Riding Hood, unaware of the wolf's trickery, points toward the path leading to her grandmother's cottage. Just past the tall oak trees, in a little white cottage with blue shutters. The wolf grins mischievously. He now has a plan to reach Grandma first. Wolf, nodding. That sounds lovely. But why don't you pick some flowers for her on the way? A lovely bouquet would surely make her feel even better. Little Red Riding Hood claps her hands in delight and runs off to pick flowers, while the wolf dashes down the shortcut to the grandmother's house. Trouble at grandmother's cottage. At the cottage, the grandmother is sitting in her rocking chair, reading. A sudden knock at the door startles her. Grandmother, smiling. Who is it? Wolf, disguising his voice. It's me, Little Red Riding Hood, grandmother. As soon as she opens the door, the wolf jumps in. The grandmother gasps as the wolf quickly wraps her in a blanket and gently places her in the closet. Wolf, laughing slyly. Now, time for my plan. He quickly puts on the grandmother's nightgown, her glasses, and tucks himself into bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood finally arrives, holding a big bouquet of colorful flowers. Little Red Riding Hood, knocking on the door. Grandmother, it's me. I brought you some cake and juice. Wolf, trying to sound like Grandma. Come in, my dear. Little Red Riding Hood enters, looking around. Something seems different. The room is dim, and Grandmother looks strange under the blankets. Little Red Riding Hood, curious. Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have. Wolf, grinning. All the better to see you with, my dear. Little Red Riding Hood. And Grandmother, what big ears you have. Wolf. All the better to hear you with, my dear. Little Red Riding Hood, nervously. And Grandmother, what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with. Little Red Riding Hood screams and jumps back just in time. Just as the wolf is about to pounce, the door bursts open. A kind woodcutter, who had been chopping wood nearby, heard the commotion and rushed in with his axe. Woodcutter. Stop right there, you sneaky wolf. The wolf tries to escape, but the woodcutter chases him out the door. The frightened wolf runs deep into the forest and is never seen again. Little Red Riding Hood quickly opens the closet, and out comes Grandmother, safe and sound. Little Red Riding Hood, hugging her grandmother. Oh, Grandmother. I was so scared. Grandmother, smiling. You were very brave, my dear. Asterisk back at home, Little Red Riding Hood tells her mother everything. Her mother hugs her tightly. Asterisk. Mother. My dear child, now you see why it's important to listen and stay on the path. I'll never talk to strangers again. And from that day on, Little Red Riding Hood was wiser. She always listened to her mother and never strayed from the path again. And as for the wolf? He never dared to come back to the village.